Picture this. You're standing at the harbor of your life, watching ship after ship depart for distant shores, while you remain on the dock, ticket in hand, waiting for the perfect vessel. The sun sets, the harbor empties, and you're still there, waiting for someday. We've all been passengers on this ship that never sails. We've all purchased tickets to destinations we never reach, dreams we never pursue, and lives we never fully live. Welcome to Someday Island, the most populated destination that doesn't really exist. Putting our dreams off for a better day or more favorable circumstances is the cruelest trick we play on ourselves. It's a tool wielded by those who don't understand the true value of their dreams, nor the devastating cost of abandoning them. We all know that someday never really arrives, yet we continue to act as though it will, booking passage on a ship that never leaves port. Those who achieve extraordinary success in any arena, health, relationships, career, finances, personal development, or spirituality, all share one crucial understanding. They've learned that living on Someday Island guarantees failure. They've discovered that the perfect moment is a myth, and the right circumstances are created, not found. Until you stop waiting for the stars to align and cease telling yourself, "Someday I will," you'll remain stranded on that fictional island with your dreams locked away in a storage unit, gathering dust and losing their power. On Someday Island, there are 3 travelers, each with their own relationship to someday. Number 1, the automatic users. These individuals have developed such an ingrained habit of postponement that they automatically route every new aspiration directly to Someday Island without even pausing to consider immediate action. They navigate through life with the genuine expectation that someday the world will stop getting in their way. They become so skilled at deferrals that they no longer recognize they're doing it. Meet Jennifer. She's a talented musician with a voice that could move mountains. But for the past decade, she's been the queen of automatic postponement. When friends suggest she perform at local venues, her mind instantly responds, "Someday when I'm more confident." When she sees audition notices for community theater, she reflexively thinks, "Someday when I have more training." When colleagues mention open mic nights, she automatically replies, "Someday when I have better songs." Jennifer has become so masterful at deferral that her dreams have been sentenced to life imprisonment on Someday Island, without even the benefit of a trial. Her rental unit there is packed with dusty sheet music, unused performance outfits, and a guitar that hasn't been played in months. Number 2, the vacationer, tourists of their own dreams. For this group, Someday Island serves as an occasional escape, a place to visit when inspiration strikes, but always with a return ticket to the safety of postponement. They don't really expect their dreams to be achieved. They believe that there are too many insurmountable challenges and harsh realities, but they enjoy the temporary relief that comes from fantasizing about how life would be if they could just experience their dreams. Consider Patrick, a successful business executive who keeps his nose perpetually to the grindstone. When the deluge of responsibilities and demands become overwhelming, he steals a moment to scour the internet for properties where he could build a cabin and create a peaceful life with his family. This virtual vacation recharges him temporarily, but Patrick always returns to what he calls the real world, thus resuming his position in a universe where responsibility and dreams exist in separate galaxies. Each time Patrick takes these mental vacations, he becomes more convinced that his dream is nothing more than an elaborate fantasy. Neither he nor those around him believe he will ever pull the trigger and take action. What began as a dream with genuine possibility has deteriorated into merely an escape mechanism from life's relentless demands. Traveler number 3, the rejectors, the dreamers who see the value in their dreams. There are those who refuse to surrender their dreams to the seductive comfort of Someday Island. These individuals recognize that someday is not a day of the week, and it's a habit to be conquered. They watch vigilantly for moments when they begin using someday language to avoid spending any time in that mental space. The rejectors set specific goals and select definite timelines for their success. They learn from their past failures, and they use their dreams as blueprints for building a better future. They persevere with the unshakable belief that they are always just one decision, one effort, one more challenge away from achieving their goal. With this mindset, they make decisions and take action to keep moving forward regardless of circumstances. These dream warriors believe that their aspirations are intended to be more than decorative items gathering dust on a storage unit shelf. They focus on their dreams with laser intensity, advancing them forward and meeting life's challenges head on to achieve what they desire. They work on their dreams every single day, in both small and large ways, to transform them from wishes into reality. After years of saying someday to her dream of opening a restaurant, Bree experienced an awakening moment when her teenager son asked, "Mom, what happened to your dream of having your own place?" That question hit her like lightning. She realized she had been using someday as a security blanket, protecting herself from the risk of failure, but also from the possibility of success. Within 6 months, she had enrolled in a business course, secured a small business loan, and signed a lease for a modest restaurant space. She had rejected the false comfort of Someday Island and began pursuing her dream. Each of us becomes a rejecter the moment we decide that our dreams are meant to be achieved and life is intended to be fulfilled. When we start pursuing instead of fantasizing, we move one step closer to becoming more than we ever imagined possible. There are hidden costs to Someday Island. The rental fee for managing a storage unit on Someday Island may be far greater than we realize. I mean, how do you calculate the cost of unrealized dreams? How do you measure the price of a life half lived? Let's just start with simple mathematics. If you currently are earning $150,000 annually and you dream of making $1 million a year, basic arithmetic suggests that the rental fee for not realizing your dream is a minimum of $850,000 annually. But here's the devastating truth. The real cost of believing you cannot make your dream come true is exponentially greater than $850,000. This becomes even more heartbreaking when we consider dreams that transcend money. What if your dream is to be a teacher who transforms the lives of struggling youth? What if you aspire to be a grandparent who helps your family heal from tragedy? What losses would the world experience without the countless mentors and friends who simply dreamed of providing better support for people who desperately needed them? We convince ourselves that we're merely procrastinating, putting off things we eventually will do. But the someday mindset is fundamentally different from procrastination. Procrastination is postponing something you need to do. The someday mindset is postponing something you desperately want to do, but don't believe you can. We see the crushing importance of paying bills, but we dismiss the life-changing importance of writing the book of our dreams. We recognize the urgency of today while completely overlooking the significance of tomorrow. People wake up every morning telling themselves they're going to change their lives, and then they don't. The longer they continue renting space on Someday Island, the harder it becomes to break the habit. When we indulge in someday thinking, we experience devastating losses. While not always irreversible, can be catastrophic to our life experiences. Hidden cost number 1, the lost but don't want to, of integrity. When words become worthless. When we consistently overlook our values and aspirations by postponing them for a better day that never arrives, we suffer a profound loss of personal integrity. We begin to doubt ourselves and our commitment to personal fulfillment. Our words declare that our dreams are important, but our actions, they betray us with brutal honesty. Our subconscious mind is not easily fooled. If it doesn't see integrity between our words and actions, it will magnify whatever message it believes is genuine and support that instead. This creates a devastating internal conflict where we lose trust in our own promises. Abigail prided herself on being honest and reliable in all her business dealings. Yet for 10 years, she had been telling her family that she would write the novel she had always dreamed of creating. Every new year brought the same announcement of intention. Every birthday carried the same promise to herself. Her family began to see these declarations as empty words. And worse, Abigail began to see herself as someone who couldn't keep promises, even to herself. The erosion of her self-trust began to infect other areas of her life, creating a subtle but persistent sense of personal dishonesty that poisoned her relationship with her self-respect. Hidden cost number 2, the loss of self-respect. You can hide from anyone except yourself. If you're not true to your word, if your values don't align with your actions, you will know it even if the entire world remains oblivious. You cannot teach others a better way if you refuse to walk it yourself. You cannot lift someone to a higher plateau if you've never been there. You may fool everyone around you, but you cannot fool the person staring back at you in the mirror. It may not be immediately evident, but over time, your lack of action on your dreams will systematically destroy your belief in and respect for yourself. Harley experienced this devastating realization when she understood that her constant deferral of fitness goals had begun to poison how she viewed herself in every area of her life. She'd been saying, "Someday I'll get in shape," for so many years that she began to see herself as someone fundamentally lacking in willpower and follow-through. This toxic self-perception began to influence her professional life, where she found herself hesitating to take on challenging projects, unconsciously believing she would fail to complete them just as she had failed to pursue her health goals. Hidden cost number 3, the loss of leadership. How can you lead others where you won't go? It becomes nearly impossible to lead others effectively when you haven't learned to lead your own personal development and achieve success in your own life. Leadership requires organization, clear goals, and consistent achievement. Habitually using Someday Island to store your dreams while waiting for better opportunities systematically decreases your personal effectiveness and damages your leadership abilities. Trevor learned this painful lesson when he was passed over for a promotion he'd been expecting for months. His supervisor's explanation cut deep. While Trevor was technically competent, he lacked the decisive leadership qualities needed for the role. "You seem always to be waiting for the perfect moment to act," his boss explained with uncomfortable honesty. Trevor realized that his habit of postponing personal goals had created a pattern of indecisiveness that others had noticed and lost respect for in his professional life. Hidden cost number 4, the loss of legacy. What are you teaching the next generation? By putting our dreams on hold and waiting for a mythical better moment, we profoundly affect the quality of experience others have when they're with us. The memories others form of their time with us could be dramatically more positive if we modeled the pursuit and achievement of dreams, stopped waiting for perfect conditions, and taught them through our example how to achieve success. Erin's heart shattered when her adult daughter said, "Mom, I learned from you that dreams are just things you talk about but never actually do." Erin had spent years discussing her dreams of learning to paint, but she never picked up a brush. Her daughter had internalized the devastating message that her dreams were meant to remain dreams, and she had applied this limiting belief to her own life, never pursuing her passion for music. The cycle of unfulfilled potential was passed on like a toxic inheritance. Hidden cost number 5, the loss of divine gifts. In the parable of the talents found in Matthew 25:14-30, 3 servants received talents in different amounts. The first servant, given 5 talents, uses them wisely and doubles his investment. The second servant does the same with his 2 talents. However, the third servant, paralyzed by fear of loss, buries his single talent in the ground. When the master returns and calls for an accounting, the first 2 servants show wise stewardship and increased returns. Both have doubled their talents. The third servant is severely chastised for his lack of faith and action. He had nothing to show for his talent. No growth, no progress, no return on the talent that he'd been given. He feared loss more than he valued growth. In the end, the master gave the buried talent to the servant who had 10. So consider this. If you had 2 friends, one with a vast library of well-worn, frequently used books, and another with a library of pristine volumes that seldom escape their shelves, which friend would you entrust with your most cherished collection of well-worn books? Like educational treasures that never liberate knowledge from their bookshelf, our unpursued dreams are like new books with crisp, untouched pages whose value remains unknown and unrealized. Our gifts have been given to us to bring joy and meaning to our lives, not to be stored away waiting for the right moment. We are expected to create the right moment. Escaping the someday mindset. For many people, simply becoming aware of their someday mindset creates immediate transformation. However, most of us must be intentional and strategic about overcoming the deeply ingrained pattern of the someday mindset. There are 4 critical areas to address if you want to break free from the someday mindset forever. Critical area number 1, eliminate try from your vocabulary. Stop saying you're going to try. Act as though your happiness depends on more than trying, because it does. When you say you're going to try, you're simply acknowledging that you lack the determination to create real change. It also insinuates you have other options, that failure is acceptable, that you're not fully committed to success. When you say you'll try, you're communicating that you've already decided to accept less than what you want, and that you have no genuine intention of fighting for success. If you want real success and fulfillment, you must work for it unequivocally and eliminate the word try from your vocabulary. So let me share with you one of my favorite illustrations of the principle of not trying. Picture a group of soldiers trapped in a dugout, cut off from any outside communication and surrounded by enemy fire. In the darkness of the night, the sergeant tells a young private that he must get past enemy lines and alert headquarters to their desperate situation. The sergeant knows that unless someone reaches headquarters before morning, the entire unit will be wiped out. Private, the sergeant says urgently, it's critical to our survival that you get past the enemy and inform HQ of our situation. The private nods and replies, I'll do my best, Sergeant, and starts to climb out of the dugout. The sergeant immediately pulls him back. Private, I don't need you to do your best. I need you to get past the enemy and let HQ know how dire our situation is. The private nods again. I'll get there or die trying, Sergeant, and once more starts to crawl out. Again, the sergeant pulls him back. Private, our lives depend on your success and determination. I don't need you to do your best, and I certainly don't want you to die trying. If you die, we all die. I need you to get past the enemy line and bring back help. Private looked the sergeant directly in the eye and said firmly, I will bring help before daybreak, and climbed out of the hole. Dreams and goals don't materialize on good intentions alone. Yet many of us have learned to live comfortably with the excuse that we meant well. The only way to achieve our deepest desires is to replace intention with action, to replace trying with doing. Critical area number 2, guard your mental environment. Choose your influences wisely. Refuse to spend time around people who consistently maintain a negative outlook about their dreams or your dreams and goals. Ignore those who repeatedly tell you your aspirations will be difficult before you've even begun. Don't allow them or yourself to assign a level of difficulty to something you haven't started. This only reinforces the limiting belief that the task will be insurmountable. And the truth is, you have no idea what challenges you'll face because you haven't embarked on the journey yet. Each dream, each challenge, each step forward has its own unique timeline and level of difficulty. Don't prejudge the process, simply get busy. This is your path, not theirs. Stay focused and eliminate their negative involvement in your dream development. Whitney learned this lesson powerfully when she decided to start her own consulting business. The moment she shared her plans with her friends and family, she was bombarded with discouraging comments. The market is too competitive. You don't have enough experience. Most small businesses fail within the first 5 years. Now, these were all well-meaning but toxic voices, and they began to systematically erode her confidence. Whitney realized she faced a crucial choice. She could continue seeking approval from those people who had never started their own business, or she could surround herself with entrepreneurs who understood the journey. She joined a local business networking group and found a mentor who had successfully built multiple companies. Within this supportive environment, her business plan evolved from a distant dream to a concrete, achievable reality. Critical area number 3, develop someday awareness. Always remain vigilant about your use of the Sunday rental unit. Awareness creates the potential for change, and change creates difference. If you want to live differently, you must take honest inventory of your relationship with someday. Is using this word getting you the life you desire? Who convinced you that the best way to be happy was to store your dreams on Someday Island? To create lasting change, you must accept this fundamental truth. There are only 7 days in a week, and someday, well, that's not one of them. Cooper began keeping a someday journal where he recorded every instance of someday language he caught himself using. He was shocked to discover that he was deferring dreams and goals multiple times throughout each day. Someday I'll rebuild that shed. Someday I'll call my old college friend, and someday I'll take that photography class. Seeing this pattern documented in black and white was a profound wake-up call. Cooper realized that he had been living in a perpetual state of postponement, always preparing for a life he never actually lived. Critical area number 4, bet on effort over talent, the great equalizer. Many people postpone their dreams to someday because they believe they lack the natural talent to be successful. They use this perceived deficiency as an excuse for why they could never achieve what talented people accomplish, so they don't even attempt to try. However, we're not all doomed to mediocrity due to a lack of innate talent. If we commit to putting in consistent effort, we can achieve as much or more than those blessed with so-called natural ability. Angela Duckworth revolutionized our understanding of success with her groundbreaking book, Grit. She defined grit as the sustaining application of effort toward long-term goals. Through extensive research, she sought to answer a fundamental question: what is the biggest predictor of success, talent or effort? Oftentimes, society conditions us to believe it would be talent. We stand in awe of natural ability and minimize the importance of sustained effort. We politely commend people who work hard, but we don't truly believe effort can compete with raw talent. Dr. Duckworth's research revealed a stunning truth in study after study. Where talent counts once, effort counts twice. She explained her findings with a tested formula. Talent times effort equals a skill. But skill times effort equals achievement. When you apply effort to any baseline level of talent, you develop skill. Whenever you apply effort to skill, you create achievement. This means that grit, not talent, is the most reliable predictor of lifelong success. This discovery should liberate you from the limiting belief that naturally gifted people have an insurmountable advantage. You can develop grit, and with it, you can achieve as much or more than anyone who relies solely on talent. Talent doesn't predict success. Effort does. Live your dreams rather than dream of living. We face a fundamental choice that shapes everything. We either live our dreams or spend our lives dreaming of living. This simple statement captures one of the most crucial statements we make as human beings. The path we choose makes all the difference, not just in our own lives, but in the lives of everyone around us. What we do with our dreams represents a vote of confidence or lack of confidence in what we believe about ourselves. Actions speak with deafening clarity, and if we don't believe in ourselves enough to pursue our dreams, how can we expect others to believe in us? If we don't think our aspirations are worth fighting for, why should anyone else support our efforts? The choice between living our dreams and dreaming of living is not made once in some dramatic moment of decision. It's made repeatedly in small but significant choices throughout each day. It's made when we choose to work on our goals instead of mindlessly watching television. It's made when we invest in learning new skills instead of spending money on temporary pleasures. And it's made when we have difficult but necessary conversations instead of avoiding conflict. It's made when we take calculated risks instead of choosing guaranteed safety. The road less traveled to the bridge off Someday Island. The antidote to the seductive power of postponement is not necessarily dramatic action. It's consistent action. We don't need to quit our jobs tomorrow to pursue our dreams, but we absolutely must take some concrete step today. We don't need to write an entire book this week, but we must write one page. We don't need to launch a complete business immediately, but we must research one aspect of our business idea. Whatever our goals may be, it remains nothing more than a wish until we put pen to paper and figure out the first concrete step to get there. When that step is completed, we continue to the second step, then the third. We set specific goals and work systematically on the steps required to achieve them, taking action large or small every single day. Like everything worthwhile we want to achieve, there's a process to get there. Ending our use of someday thinking follows the same principle. However, regardless of which area needs our attention, it still requires work, effort, and unwavering consistency to create lasting change. The road to success, the road less traveled, leaves Someday Island by crossing the bridge of effort and action. The road is there waiting for you. The only question that remains is this: will you take the first step today, or will you wait for someday?